everyone. This is Electric Gold, a Nashville SC supporter podcast. I am Ryan, here with my good friends John and Evan, ready to discuss all things Nashville Soccer Club. How are you guys doing this evening?
Fantastic, Ryan.
Doing great, boys. Doing great.
We're actually recording this on Memorial Day. Hope you guys have been enjoying the holiday weekend. Want to say a big thank you to all of the active duty servicemen and women, as well as all of the veterans out there that might be listening. We really appreciate all that you're doing for this country, that you have done for this country. So a big thank you, first of all, to all those folks.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Did you guys do anything fun on your extended holiday weekend?
I got my pool open in the backyard. I got to play with the kids today. It was very cold.
Right.
Because I just got it filled up. I guess it was Sunday, but right before the storms came in. And so, we just jumped in and it was intolerable, but still lasted a few hours in it.
It's always a happy occasion, the first dip into the pool, right?
Oh, it felt so good. I don't care how cold it was. It felt so good.
How about yourself, Evan? Anything special that you did this weekend?
You know, my daughter rolled her ankle on Friday, and then with the weather, and so she couldn't walk a lot. And so with the weather being what it was, we actually just stayed home a lot this weekend, and I started boxing things up because I am moving next month.
Hey,
nice.
Congratulations.
Thanks,
Thankfully,
buddy.
You're not moving out of town or anything, so
yes,
you'll be able to stick around and do these wonderful podcasts.
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask you guys what you've done this weekend because I actually have something funny to share. So I celebrated Memorial Day weekend by watching two movies that I don't know how they really fit into the celebration of Memorial Day. The first one was Apocalypse Now, which I had never watched it in its entirety.
Wow.
I'd always watched bits and pieces, but I watched it from beginning to end. It's a very long movie. I watched the Redux version as well, so it's even more challenging. So that was one thing to really get me in the spirit of loving America.
Yeah, it's really a nice family flick.
And then today, I took my daughter to the movies and we saw Civil War. Have you seen this movie?
I have not.
Do tell.
It's intense. It's basically set in present day where America has fallen into civil war. Yeah. And there's all these different factions. There's, for some reason, California and Texas are aligned as one unit. They're called the Western Front. I don't see that ever happening.
Don't see that happening.
We know it's fiction. Florida and a group of other states are all in one faction as well. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
I think there's like a Pacific Northwest. But anyway, it follows photojournalists as they make their way to Washington, D.C. to capture the ending moments of the war where D.C. is overrun by the Western Front of California and Texas. It's intense. And nothing says Memorial Day like a couple of movies that basically critique the fall of American excellence. So there you go.
Funny, light fare, really.
Yeah, exactly. But I recommend both. It was pretty enjoyable. All right, well, guys, before we get started talking soccer, let's talk about the most important thing of all, which is what beer you're drinking this evening. Evan, start us off. What are you drinking?
Well, I'm just drinking the flagship IPA from the Good People Brewing Company down in Birmingham, Alabama, and really enjoying it. It's earthy, it's got a light caramel finish, and it's just got that perfect bitterness, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean by that? It's just perfectly bitter.
I do.
I do.
Oh, it's so good.
Sounds awesome. How about you, John? What are you drinking this evening?
I am drinking the Mango Wowie IPA from Wicked Weed Brewery in Asheville, North Carolina. It's really delightful. It's very hoppy, cashmere and citra hops, but with real mango for a little bit of sweet in there too. It's very tasty.
That sounds lovely. Very nice. I'm continuing our tradition of celebrating German and Czech style Pilsners. And we've been talking a lot also about how much we love what Jackalop's been doing lately. So I'm drinking their Sarka Pilsner. Are you guys familiar with this one at all?
I am not.
It comes with a little legendary tale on the side of the can here. Let me read it off to you. The warrior Sarka tied herself to a tree, cried to her foes, "Help, come set me free." Feeling heroic, they loosened her ropes. In thanks, she poured mead. Then they drank it, the dopes. Suddenly drowsy, they fell fast asleep. And stone cold Miss Sarka made 'em dead meat. This Pilsner's no trick, but a treat for your thirst. As cool and as crafty as Sarka the First.
Wow.
There you have it.
Oh, I like that.
That's beautiful.
Not only are they making great beers, but they're spinning wonderful yarns and myths of old.
I feel like I'm in Miss Tompkins' 12th grade English class. That was beautiful.
Well, with that, guys, really appreciate you being here this evening. Looking forward to talking soccer with you guys and who knows what else. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, well, let's kick things off with the week in review. In their first full week without Gary Smith as head coach, Nashville SC traveled north to take on Club de Foot Montreal in a match between two teams struggling to find some momentum heading into the summer. Nashville entered the game in 11th place with a record of 3 wins, 4 losses, and 6 draws. Meanwhile, Montreal, losers of 4 straight, entered the match in 12th place with a record of 3 wins, 7 losses, and 3 draws. The game was a lackluster affair, with neither team producing much in the way of a real threat throughout the game. Sam Surridge managed a clear shot at an empty goal in the 33rd minute, but Montreal defender Joel Waterman arrived at the last second to deflect the shot away. Montreal had a few golden opportunities for a score, but they squandered those with poor shot selection and decision-making, and a couple of savvy saves by NSC keeper Joe Willis. The game lumbered to a 0-0 draw, and both teams saw their position in the standings unchanged. Nashville continued to struggle with play in the attacking third. They managed 33 passes into the attacking third compared to Montreal's 44. Nashville mustered only 67 passes within the final third compared to Montreal's 138. And while Montreal managed to pass into the opponent's box 13 times, Nashville only generated 4 passes into their opponent's box. So that was that, guys.
Ooh.
Pretty lackluster, milquetoast sort of performance from both teams, I felt like. It was on the road, obviously. Getting a point on the road, we'll take it. We need every point we can get, but against such a weakened opponent, really was hoping for more. Did you guys have any initial thoughts about the game that you watched, John?
Yeah, I mean, that was a soccer game.
And that's about it.
2 teams played soccer for 90 minutes. Nobody scored. Nothing too exciting happened. It's kind of discouraging in that if we can't beat Montreal away, I don't know who we are going to beat away. It is what it is. We don't have a coach right now, really. We have an interim coach. The players seem kind of directionless, but they didn't lose, so I guess we take the point and we go on.
Yeah, to me, it seems like the defense has kind of solidified in the last few weeks back to the type of defense that we're used to and that we can count on for the most part. The offense is just not happening. The connectivity, just being on the same page, it doesn't seem like it's there. Evan, what are you seeing? What did you see in this game?
Yeah, similar. Historically, a point on the road is considered a good result, but this was more of a tie that felt like a loss because we have dug ourselves in such a hole this season that we're going to have to start collecting 3 points obviously as often as possible, but that it's going to include some road games. With a road heavy stretch, it did feel more like a loss, a wasted opportunity. So disappointing. Let's hope that we can somehow continue to improve defensively, and maybe that will be the catalyst for some improvement up top, and who knows, maybe we sneak a few wins on the road before too long.
Another thing that seems pretty obvious to me is that this is a team in flux without a defined coach at the helm. It just seems like we're, just treading water week to week. There's no underlying strategy or approach really happening. Hats off to Roomba for stepping in an unfortunate situation. He's probably doing the best that he can given the circumstances, but this team needs a clear, defined leader who has a point of view, and they need to start implementing that sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we need it fast.
I don't know where they are at in that process. Have you guys heard any rumor around this? I wouldn't expect it from this team. They're pretty tight-lipped about the whole coaching search, aren't they?
Yeah, this team operates in the dark. I know people out there are tracking John Ingram's planes.
Right.
Like this is the SEC football or something. You're not going to hear about it until everybody hears about it. I promise you that.
As the fans, we'll probably be the very last to know.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, maybe the players might hear about it after us.
You never know with this team, man.
All right, well, let's get into it. Let's talk about the best thing you saw this week. This is, oh, hell yeah. Okay, so what's your oh, hell yeah moment of the week, Evan?
My oh, hell yeah moment is seeing that we got our second shutout in 6 matches after we had set a club record for going 10 matches straight without one. Very uncharacteristic for us to have gone so long without a clean sheet. But 2 in 6 matches, that is proof that the defense is solidifying. Zimmerman's fully back. Jack Mayer seems to have kind of found his comfort level there beside Walker.
I'm not convinced.
Are you not? Well,
no.
Please explain.
I thought he continued to look pretty lost back there this game. I thought his clearances were poor. He often put the team at risk with some of his movements in play. Montreal had quite a few pretty great chances, and if they weren't such a terrible team, I think they would have beat us.
Yeah, that's true. I'll grant you that.
Lovitz, I think, playing great. He might have been our best player in this game, honestly. He had the highest XT of any player. He was moving the ball into situations that created threats for scoring. Mayer was the opposite. It seemed like he was really counterproductive most of the night, in my opinion. Zimmerman, yes, he was solid as always. Well, I take that back. I take that back. Actually, the first 20 minutes of the game, I was kind of unhappy with how Zimmerman was playing. It seemed like he kind of settled into it later, but the first part of the game, I was just like, what is he doing? I felt like both he and Mayer were having poor clearances and moving the ball in a way that jeopardized the situation, put us into situations where it could be taken away and scoring opportunity was created for Montreal. It wasn't that great, but yeah, not to stomp all over your, oh, hell yeah. But
thanks, Ryan.
I didn't like Mayer's play this game.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, aren't you encouraged by the 2 shutouts in 6 matches?
Yeah. No, I think that this one was more of a result of who we were playing than our own efforts. I'll take it, though.
Yeah. Will you allow me to say, oh, hell yeah?
Yeah, more power to you. John, how about yourself?
Well, my all hell yeah moment was definitely when referee Tim Ford blew his final whistle. I was like, oh, hell yeah, ref. Put an end to this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that game almost put me into a coma. I don't know. I was pumped going into it. I think I predicted a 3-2 game. Woo! I was wrong. That's why they don't pay me. But yeah, it's just a bad, boring soccer game. And as soon as it ended, like I felt like I was going to fall asleep. I usually try to stay up, make a compromise with my wife. Like, okay, I've hogged the TV for 2 hours. Let's watch a movie now. Oh, man, I don't know what we watched. I could barely keep my eyes open. I think I slept until like noon the next day. And it was all because that freaking soccer game. It was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was my all hell yeah moment. The moment it ended. That's all I could do.
Not much positive to talk about, is there?
I mean, it's not really.
Let me make it easier on you. Let's talk about the worst thing you saw this week. This is, oh, hell no. John, we'll go back with you. What's your oh, hell no moment?
My all hell no moment was pretty much every set piece that we took during the game. What were we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Every time we had a free kick or a corner kick, it seemed like all of their best chances came from our set pieces. And that's the opposite of what should happen. We're struggling right now. The fundamentals would be like, all right, at least make your set pieces count. And we certainly were not doing that. We had I think we got one corner kick into Zimmerman that had a kind of a chance on goal.
Yeah.
But most of them, like there was one where Mukhtar played it to the top of the box. And it ended up like in a 4-on-1 fast break for Montreal because they just stole the ball and went down the field. And thankfully they sucked so much that they didn't score on it.
Yeah, I think they started giving away corners just so that they could fast break counter afterwards.
I think there was a strategy. They were kicking it over the end line just to give us corner kicks. There was another one I can't even remember. Somebody took a wild attempt at a shot that kind of flew straight up in the air. And once again, it was like a 3 or 4 on 1 break. And thank God Montreal sucks. They couldn't make it count. All of their best chances came off our set pieces, and that sucks. I was like, oh, hell no. What are we doing?
I know. I was so confused by it and frustrated. That one that you mentioned where Mukhtar served it to the top of the box and they took off with it. I mean, there was nobody close. No Nashville player was anywhere near it. And I just don't know what he's doing or what he's seeing or if he's missed kicking the ball or I just don't know.
I think he was trying to set up something complicated. And what are we, our 5th season? For 5 seasons now, if Walker Zimmerman is on the field, I know you've stood beside me and heard me say this. Put the ball on Walker's head.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard. The guy dominates almost every MLS defender. If you put the ball on his head, good things happen. Just keep it simple, stupid.
But I do wonder if we run the risk of becoming so predictable with that same move every time. So I thought it was hilarious, I tell you, when they would set up Schaffelberg like right over there near the sideline as potentially Mukhtar was going to do a short pass to him.
Yeah.
One time he even faked like he was going to pass it to him and then he ended up crossing it over into the middle anyway. Nobody's buying that. We have years of evidence to show that Nashville is never going to do a short corner kick of any sort or set up some fake or anything like that. We are just going to lob it over the middle into the box and just hope and pray that something good happens. I do think you're right. Zimmerman is the number 1 A choice for corner kicks to try and convert into a score. He's got the size to be able to win those aerials over others. And he's got the strength and aggressiveness too. Yeah. But so often we don't get it to him. We serve it up into the middle. And I bet if we looked at the statistics that more than half of our corner kicks, the first person to touch the ball when it comes in bounds is the other team.
Oh, guaranteed. I'll say 75%.
Yeah, I promise you it's the other team more often than us. So it sucks.
It does.
We need a new coach, and we need him now. All right, Evan, what's your all hell now moment?
Our offense not being able to take advantage of the many blunders made by Montreal's keeper. I mean, he was playing like Panico did, against Miami, whenever that was, a couple months ago. I mean, he just was, I don't know, high or something, but he just kept giving us chance after chance, and we could not bury the ball in the back of the net. And yeah, it speaks to the lack of connection and rhythm and just complete lack of confidence up top. And just every time he gave us a chance, which we then squandered, I was just like, oh, hell no.
It was there for the taking, that game. If anybody wanted to play just decent, it was there to be had. You're right. We had plenty of chances. When he had that one sequence where Surridge had that wide open shot and the goalie completely fell out of the goal because he blocked the first attempt or whatever. And it was just wide open. And Surridge, I don't know if he choreographed it or what, but the defender came in, knocked it away at the last second. That was just a ripe opportunity that we squandered. I don't know how that went down or how that defender was able to get over there so quickly. Or he's just a terrific defender. He is. It's Waterman, right? Was his name?
Yeah, it's Waterman. Yeah.
I think he is one of the better defenders in the league.
Yeah.
It just broke my heart to see that.
There was another one where their keeper played it out and it went straight to Hani.
Yeah.
And he was probably 25, 30 yards middle of the field. And right in front of him, Surridge, if he'd played it through to Surridge, it would have been a one-on-one. There was a defender there with him. And instead, Hani took a shot. It went wide. And I felt like Surridge was kind of frustrated with that one as well as should have been. He should have played that one through.
Well, there's more to say on that, but I wonder if we might not get into it in the next section, which is the Nashville hot chicken takes. Ow! All right, so obviously This is the moment you guys get to make your spiciest hot take, see if you can burn my mouth. I don't know if you were going to reference this at all, what you were just talking about, but I'll give you the opportunity, John, to start us off. What's your hot take this evening?
It was not that. It was something entirely different, not having to do with this game.
Oh, okay.
My hot take is that MLS and Nashville SC in particular has completely blown it by not making a documentary like Welcome to Wrexham.
Okay.
Welcome to Wrexham, if you haven't seen it, is an amazing, amazing documentary. It's gotten a lot of people that aren't soccer fans or sports fans at all to watch. A lot of that might be women that just want to see Ryan Reynolds do anything, but they're sticking with it because it's a great documentary, and the documentary is at its best when it focuses on the fans,
the people of that town.
Yes,
there's so much passion there.
What the team means to the people there in the town is everything. Every time it focuses on that stuff, tears swell up. I love that stuff.
I agree.
And I don't know why we aren't in America doing something like this. Nashville SC in particular, because we are the only MLS team that started its life as a fan-owned team. This team started as Nashville FC in 2013, run by fans. And the reason that they formed the team is because soccer had failed several times in Nashville. I myself, and you guys too, have all grown up here. Back in 2013, I would have absolutely laughed at you if you told me Nashville was a soccer town. But a bunch of fans made it happen. And the end result of that is the team that exists now in MLS and has a great following. Why aren't we focusing on that history? The team does everything to ignore the history that happened before MLS. There is a great history of soccer here in Nashville. And if you made a documentary about the people that started this team in particular, there were teams here in Nashville before, the Nashville Metros.
Right.
If you made all this stuff, it would be an amazing documentary. How all these little people that wouldn't give up made a great team that exists now. But instead of embracing this history the way the Welcome to Wrexham has, we ignore it. And it pisses me off to no end. I love the show. This week's episode seriously was one of the best episodes of any television show I've ever seen. It was amazing. I don't want to give anything away from anybody watching it, but seriously, watch the episode Temporary and tell me you didn't burst into tears by the end of it. MLS and Nashville SC, make something like this. Embrace your history. That's all I'm saying.
Love it.
I think that's a great point. Wrexham, they tell an incredible story about a middling town and a middling team. Yeah. And then these guys from Hollywood come in and their money and their personality are able to lift it up.
Yeah.
And everybody rallies around that team and the whole concept of doing this together. There is a story certainly to be told around Nashville SC as well, and probably several of the other teams around the MLS. You could probably make a documentary like this 10, 15, 20 times.
Oh, definitely. Seattle, Portland, Vancouver. Soccer in America exists because they stuck with it ever since the 70s with up there. But I know we don't have 150 years of history like Wrexham, but we do have history.
Mm-hmm. And some pretty interesting and colorful personalities along the way as well. The one thing we're missing is a charming owner.
I mean, we don't have that. We don't have Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But still, turn the cameras on.
Yeah, I like it. Evan, what's your hot take this week?
Well, I'm bringing my hot take back to Wednesday night's game based on Saturday night's performance. Guys, Wednesday night away against Cincinnati, I don't think we get a single shot on goal all night long.
Wow.
The way our offense is playing, the way, like you said, we seem to be kind of treading water, as well as Cincinnati's been playing. Everybody's just out of sync. I don't see it happen. I don't think we get a single shot on goal.
I wouldn't be shocked by that. I don't know that it's terribly spicy. I don't know. Either take is just extreme, but I can totally see that scenario playing out where Cincinnati's a great team
Yeah.
They are holding their own with Miami right now. Miami's got a game in hand, but they basically have the same record. And they're doing it through a balanced attack, which I'll be mentioning later when we do the weekend preview. They don't have a leading goal scorer on their team. They've got multiple people contributing all over the field. And we're going to be hard pressed to keep up with that, especially going up there to Cincinnati. Unfortunately, they're our big rival, and, fuck them above all others.
Yes.
It's going to be really tough. I'll be cheering for us, but my expectations are low. I'm kind of surprised neither one of you guys focused more in on the whole problems with our offense, because I think that several people have commented on it, that there's a disconnect happening between Hani and Surridge, Tyler Boyd, Schaffelberg. Those guys are not all on the same page. And it does seem like Sam Surridge is the piece that is the least on the same page as everybody else. He's showing his frustrations on the field, much like Fafa did last year, the same way. So I don't know if the problem's with our core people that have been here longer or with the new folks we try and bring in, but something's just not right. And I think we made a mistake letting Fafa go. Either that or Mackenzie Gaines, because Alex Muyl on the right wing isn't doing it in terms of offensive production speed. I love his hustle, but Schaffelberg being our only fast player on the pitch is hurting us. I saw it numerous times where Muyl was just getting beat by Montreal's players on that side, and we weren't able to keep possession on that side that well. I really think we're missing having another speedster on the right wing.
What did you think about Tyler Boyd the other night? I thought he continued to play well. Did you?
Yeah, I'm happy with his effort, and he seems to make pretty good decisions. But again, just the chemistry between him and then the front line, it's just not there. I don't know if they haven't had enough time to play together because of his injury and everything. Hani and Sam, I would think at this point, have had enough time. Maybe it just hasn't been consistent or something, but they don't seem like they are enjoying playing with one another. I don't hate to speculate on something like that, but I mean, it's never stopped us before.
Yeah, I know. Why stop now? When we talked about Surge's troubles last year, we said, well, he didn't have a preseason with the team. Well, he had a preseason with the team this year. Obviously, I don't know what kind of practicing we did. The vibes are off, though. Like, you're totally right. They're not in sync the way that a great playmaker and striker team can often be.
It's almost like they're thinking too much.
Possibly, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when you're playing well and you're vibing with your other teammates and everything, it's almost like a flow state. You don't have to think about it too much, but it seems like those guys are just overthinking everything and just, I don't know, man. You're right, though. They are so far out of sync.
Yeah, if you pause a second in this league, the chances are going to go away. And yeah, we're overthinking it for sure.
After they do get the rare attempt to score and it doesn't go well, just pay attention to the aftermath of that, and you'll see Surridge throwing his hands up and shaking his head, and Hani doing the same thing. They're giving glances and looks across, and I don't know if they're looking at each other or if they're looking at Schaff or where it's directed, or if it's just general frustration. It could be that. Maybe it's not directed at anybody. Oh well. All right, well, let's move on away from that. All that sucks. Let's not talk about it anymore. We're going to bring back a segment we haven't done in a long time. This one's called Don't Put Me in Charge. Yeah, this was inspired this week in some of our conversations that we have. Evan really lit the fire for this one. We've talked about it before, that in addition to all the stuff on the field that needs help, we do feel like the supporter section, which we love and we're a part of, it could use a little boost, a little freshener, if you will. And we've said for a while, they could use some new songs, some new chants. They've done the same ones over and over for the past several years now. Let's inject some life into the supporter section with some new songs. They can't be too complicated. They need to be something that you can easily memorize. I wanted to give you guys both the opportunity to be in charge of supporter section chants and come up with a new song that you might want to introduce. John, do you have one?
Yeah, I've got one.
Okay.
And I got to say that unlike Evan and almost everyone else in Nashville, I am not a songwriter. So I had to have some help. I loaded up our friend and previous correspondent ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah.
Got a pretty decent one. Basically, in life, my hero is Phil Collins.
Whose hero is he not? You know?
Yeah. If you've got 2 ears and a heart, you're going to love Phil Collins. So I thought everybody loves In the Air Tonight. And I thought, well, we don't have any chance about maybe our most consistent performer, Walker Zimmerman. So I said, ChatGPT, give me a song to the tune of In the Air Tonight about Walker Zimmerman. And it came up with, oh, Walker's in the air tonight. Oh, Lord. Nashville's defense feels just right. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, terrific.
Like
That's all you need right there.
I'd sing that with you, buddy.
Yeah.
We may just start doing it in the middle of a game. Everybody will be looking at us like, what are these people doing?
Not a soul will hear us.
Right.
I only want this because I want the capos to be holding up a sign that has Phil Collins' face on it.
Absolutely.
That alone would make the game for me.
They could lose 5-0 and I'd be happy just to have seen that.
Yeah, I'd be fine.
That would be an easy picture to come up with because that was every album cover that Phil Collins ever put out, right?
Yeah.
Just his face.
And that video for that song is just his face.
It was just him. That dude loved his own face.
I've got a buddy who swears up and down that he saw Phil Collins at the old spaghetti factory one night downtown 2nd Avenue. Myself and all the other people in our group constantly, whenever he brings this up, we're like, no, you didn't. It's totally plausible, but we always just poo-poo it like, no way did you see, you're just making it up because you want to try and brag about seeing Phil Collins at Old Spaghetti Factory.
Well, you know, if you listen to the lyrics of In the Air Tonight, it is obvious that Phil Collins is watching everybody everywhere at all times.
He's omniscient.
He's listening to us right now.
Well, that's a good entry, John. Evan, you've got several to choose from. You were quite prolific with your songwriting this week, so feel free to choose one or share them all if you like.
Thanks. Yeah, I was just sitting there and the muse just came upon me. And I mean, these songs were pouring out of me one after another. Now, I didn't rely on ChatGPT. I went a few decades back and in this case relied on Hank Williams. But this is my little contribution based on or sung to the tune of Your Cheating Heart by Hank Williams. I'm not going to sing it.
Oh,
I'm going to say it, and you can imagine.
Come on, man. Come on.
Oh, you do not want to hear me sing, trust me.
You're a better singer than I am, dude.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Here it is, okay? Your cheating heart will make you bawl. You'll dive and try to get the call. But the call won't come the whole match through. Your cheating heart will tell on you.
Dude.
Woo!
Every time we see a player on the opposition's team go down in a dive, which is all the time, break that tune out, I think it would be perfect. That would be so good.
I love it. I love it. I want some more of it.
Oh, speaking of, that was going to be mine.
Oh.
I had a special one that's dedicated to Dan Lovitz.
Yes.
Where basically it's just, I like it, I love it, I want some more of it. It's that simple. That's all you need.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
It's that easy. We've all been to Preds games. Come on.
He's taking a corner kick instead of just doing NSC, NSC. Let's do it. I like it. I love it.
Count me in.
I love it.
Evan, give us another one. You've got more there.
Okay. All right. If you twist my arm. One more here.
Yeah.
This one is to the tune of Ramblin' Fever by Merle Haggard. All right. Here we go. I caught this Nashville fever long ago when I first saw the boys in gold. If someone said I ever gave a damn, they damn sure told you wrong. I've had Nashville fever all along.
That's beautiful.
That
is so good.
That's so good, dude.
Oh, thanks, boys. That's fun.
I swear you need to be writing these like as your full-time job just for the supporters groups. So just writing songs, writing chants.
Hire this boy.
Yeah, it's really easy when you just completely rip off some of the greatest songwriters of all time. Just tweak a few words here and there, change a word to Nashville, change a word to gold. It's pretty doable.
Yeah.
What I love about it, though, is Nashville has a very unique character and flavor, obviously. It's Music City. It's the home of country music. Why don't we lean into that more in the games? We've done the cash thing with our uniforms. We used to have the song that introduced each game. For some reason, we've gotten rid of that. But we've got the riff at the beginning of the game. We've got all of these things that make sense that are specific to us.
Yeah.
We need to take these country music tunes, make some chants out of them. And I mean, they would be uniquely ours. They make sense with us. They don't make sense for anybody else. I love it. I think that's where we should go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll put a pin in that and hopefully follow Evan's future songwriting career as it blossoms. But for now, we must move on and do the weekend preview. NSC has another busy week ahead of them as they first travel to face arch rivals FC Cincinnati, who sit in second place in the Eastern Conference with a record of 10 wins, 2 losses, and 3 draws. Cincinnati has managed to keep pace with juggernaut Miami at the top of the standings by leveraging a balanced attack powered by their leading scorer, Luciano Acosta, who also leads all MLS in key passes. Cincinnati is currently riding a 7-game win streak, having last lost against Montreal on April 13th. They feature a goal differential of +9 and are averaging 2.2 goals per game. But then again, fuck Cincinnati. After that midweek trip, Nashville will return home to host the New England Revolution at Geodis Park. New England is currently sitting last in the Eastern Conference with an MLS worst record of 2 wins, 10 losses, and 1 draw, and a goal differential of -17. Not only that, New England's cumulative statistics indicate that they are the worst performing team in MLS since 2017. That's right, worse than any of Cincinnati's first 3 seasons. They've lost 3 straight, 6 of their last 7, and they're averaging just 0.54 goals per game. After this game, Nashville will then enjoy a bit of a break as they won't play again until June 15th, providing them ample time to rest, recuperate, and possibly find a new head coach. So there you go, guys. We've got a busy week ahead. Just played in Montreal. Then we travel to Cincinnati, play there in midweek. Then we come back home for a game against the league worst New England Revolution. Do you have any predictions about what we might see coming up this week? Evan?
Yeah, pains me to say it, but I don't see us going up to Cincinnati and winning that match. I think our defense will play well enough, but I don't think our offense is going to solve its problems by then. So I'm going to go ahead and predict a 1-0 loss at Cincinnati, but I think we come back home. I think we're humbled. I think we've had enough time with our interim coach, assuming we don't have a new coach in place by then. And I think we play well enough to get by New England. I'm going to say a 1-0 victory on Saturday night.
I'd take 3 points out of the next 2 games, given the opposition that we're facing. All right, John, how about yourself? What kind of predictions do you have for this next week?
All right, so Wednesday we play FC Cincinnati. And like you have said, fuck FC Cincinnati.
Yep.
But guys, I've got a confession to make. I'm going to say it before y'all and the Lord and everyone listening. I kind of like Skyline chili.
Oh, come on.
Oh, my God.
I think it's okay fast food. I don't think it's the greatest thing in the world, but I don't hate it. And if I'm in Cincinnati, I'll probably have it again.
Phil Collins is quite disappointed in you right now.
Do y'all have any guilty pleasures like that?
Well, it's certainly not that guilty.
Well, since we're confessing things, you know what? They've got a pretty great zoo up there. The Cincinnati Zoo is pretty great.
They do. That's a good zoo. I can't complain about that zoo. That's a good zoo.
Ryan?
What about you, Ryan?
Is it just Cincinnati-related guilty pleasures?
No, it could be any guilty pleasure.
Okay. Well, yeah, this is completely unrelated to soccer or Cincinnati at all.
This could be good, John.
I've always had quite an affection for 90s R&B female groups like In Vogue.
There's no guilt involved in that,
Oh my
son.
Like In
dude.
Vogue.
Wave
Sing it
that
loud
flag
and proud,
proudly, my
yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah,
on,
I
tell
love
us.
all that stuff. TLC?
Yeah, flesh this out for us. Give us some of your top groups and some of your absolute bangers.
It's all of the ones that you know. So In Vogue, I think is to me is the one. They're top notch. But fan TLC. Honestly, I've got a real affinity for Spinderella from Salt and Pepper.
Oh.
I thought she was Salt and Pepper were fine, but what made that group amazing as they are is Spinderella.
Come on the spot here. Give us a 3-song micro playlist. Your top 3 '90s female R&B group bangers. Come on.
So What a Man is up there for sure because of the
Yes,
collaboration
testify.
between the two. Gosh, I don't know. Shake Your Thing is a Salt and Pepper song that is a real banger. I really like a lot. And oh gosh, what's another one? I guess these are all Salt and Pepper songs, but like Ain't Nothing But a She Thing. I really like that one as well. So
Oh, it's a good one. I love all those songs.
Since I threw my 2 cents in on John's guilty pleasure, can I just go ahead and throw my 2 cents in on yours as well?
yeah, hit me.
Yeah.
You know who was amazing back then? Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson crushed the late 80s, early 90s.
Velvet Rope.
Absolutely.
I love the Velvet Rope album and the Janet album before it too. I know a lot of people are Rhythm Nation fans, but I like those early 90s albums a lot more. Yeah, Janet and then Velvet Rope. I can't believe we're talking about this grown men in their 40s.
No. Can you imagine putting out albums that good while also being the most beautiful woman in the world? Janet Jackson was the shit. I love Janet Jackson. You know, if she looked like Warwick Davis and put out those albums, I would still love those albums. But it's just like, it's too good to be true.
Oh, mercy.
Okay, well, so there's my guilty pleasure. I guess I shouldn't be so guilty. I always felt like I had to hold it in, but you're telling me to let that flag fly.
Yeah.
Huh?
Let it ride, man. Let it ride.
Yeah, man.
Maybe I'll just wear a Janet Jackson t-shirt to the next tailgate, Nashville tailgate.
Dude. Yep.
Cool.
I love it.
Hey, do you
All
mean to
right.
write a Janet Jackson song-based chant for us?
Ooh. Would you please?
Yes.
I'm on this.
I don't know why we're still talking about this, but you know a really great Janet Jackson song is the one that she did with Michael Jackson. That you remember Scream?
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Dude, I
yes.
think
Hell
that
yeah.
song is just killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
It's
best
amazing.
version of Michael with all of the rhythm that he could create with his singing and stuff. And then it's the best version of Janet as well with the inflection that she could bring to a song. That song rocks, dude. It rocks.
Yeah.
It does. It does. It's awesome.
Cool.
Let's do a Janet Jackson podcast. Fuck Nashville SC.
Right now, it'd be a lot more fun than the Nashville SC podcast. That's for sure. Okay, I wasn't anticipating any of this for our podcast tonight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was supposed to preview the game, huh?
Oh, yeah, right. What's happening this week?
So Cincinnati is really good. They're a really good team. I predict 5-0 NSC. And then we play New England, and my feelings in general about New England are fuck Boston.
Oh, always, always.
I'm a New York Knicks fan, so I fucking hate the Celtics. I hate the Patriots. I hate the Bruins. I hate the Red Sox. And I double hate the New England Revolution. So 6-1 NSC. That's my prediction.
God, I hope so. So we're going to score 11 goals in the next 2 games.
Yep.
I don't think we've scored 11 all season.
I am a really, really realistic predictor of games here.
Yeah, you never let facts get in the way of a good prediction.
No, hell no.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I'm running out of beer, so it's about time for us to wrap things up. Really appreciate the contributions tonight. Appreciate all of you out there listening. John, you want to let them all know how they can reach out and get in touch with us?
Absolutely. Twitter and Instagram, we are Electric Gold NSC. We also have a Facebook page. Please like us, follow us, give us 5-star reviews if that's an option, the social media of your choice. Just let us know. We would love to hear anything you have to say. If you have a chant or a song that you would like to have happen at a game, I'm thinking we start a contest. What about you guys?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't know what the prize is yet.
I will find out what the prize is. I think, just let us know if you're out there, because we love anybody that's listening to us, and we hope you love us back.
And our Spotify playlist that we've got is about to get a whole lot more awesome.
It's about to get way more awesome. Yeah. I mean, all the stuff we talk about tonight, it might just be 100 Janet Jackson songs. Yeah, it might be.
Our Spotify playlist, we include every piece of music, and a lot of times other pop culture that we talk about on this podcast goes on that playlist. It's ever expanding. I've tried. I can't find one song that I dislike on that whole thing. It's amazing.
It's bangers through and through.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. This has been a lot of fun. I'm going to go listen to some mid-90s R&B now.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. And no matter how bad it might get, hang in there. Keep rooting them on. Let's keep saying it. Come on, you boys and gold.
Come on, you boys and gold!
Come on, you boys and gold!